Then we're back finally. Uh, we had some technical issues. I think I knew what the problem is, and I want everybody to do it as well to make sure that you update everything because it is an update. That's why everything was glitching. I'm like, why is everything glitching? Why is everything moving so slow? If you can hear me and if you can see me, give me some blue heart comments, Fashion Dog. And where were we? We were talking about the rise of independent artists. That's where we were talking about. And you was giving your take and you got the feedback and everything happened. So I guess you get a part one and this will be part two.
Um, the rise of independent artists, I believe, comes from the access of the internet and everything being in the artist's hands now. When before it was, you know what I mean, you had to pay, you had to basically have money to record. Now everything you could do it, everything on your phone. Everything is in your hands. The world's in your hands now. So it's not a dream no more to make a record. It's not a dream no more to produce a beat for someone who doesn't have the finances that it used to take to make a record. You know what I mean? It used to be you had to sign a record deal to have people in different countries or different cities to hear your music. So now it's not like that. So I think that's what makes it so like attainable now.
Absolutely. And your music has been played on radio stations across the nation from 101.5, 92.1, Z103, and so many others, just to name a few. Make you feel knowing that your music is going global across the nation. And you're doing this independently. And I think a lot of artists across the nation as well, too, independent artists can take away from benefiting on getting their music across the airwaves all over the world.
Um, right, because there's so many channels now that you could submit your music to get airplay. That, like I say, it wasn't before. Like before, you had to have a major label or payola. You know what I mean? It's still like that for the major things. But like I say, if you got publishing and you got stuff, if you get your stuff played on radio stations, that's, you know what I mean, official, it's going to be okay. So it's about submission, and that's something that's different now than it was before. Before you couldn't submit. We
I
back.
see
You
you,
can hear
see,
me?
mommy girl. Yes, you hear us better, Miss Stevie and the King. Miss Stevie and the King, we are, and you guys can hear us. That's great. We are talking about the rise, and I'm going to back off of what you just said, Mel, which is publishing. Um, so glad you touched on that. Y'all know where I'm going because artists in this business sign these contracts and have no idea what they are signing. It's important that you read over everything with a fine tooth comb because you do not want to screw yourself. You sign a bad contract, and we've seen the stories of these artists from MC Hammer to Beyonce again. TLC, I love TLC, I love In Vogue, I love them all. You learn a lot about the business. And shout out to my brother K2, who was just in just sitting down with Praj from SWV. And Praj was saying, and I think Mel, I've seen you say it in the interview as well too, about artists making sure that they read over what they sign, study the business, know from the right and the left hand as well. Because you get in this business, you don't know what you're signing, you don't know about publishing or owning your masters or owning your rights, and that's where I was going. Prince was genius at that. And I say that because he has music that we probably are not even aware of in the vault somewhere. And it's because he wrote his own music, produced his own music. He was a genius at owning his masters as well too. And that's why you see a lot of artists nowadays, like from Taylor Swift, I think she had to go back in the studio, Ashanti, she's another one, and so many others had to go back in the studio and re-record their music. It's important to keep and critical that you own your masters. Own your masters, licensing, publishing. Make sure that you're getting rights and residuals for songs that you have written. And a prime example of that, and she makes sure she secures the bag and she knows her publishing, she knows everything. And I love this woman to death, and that is Candy Burris Tucker. You guys know her as Candy from Escape, the girl group Escape. Candy wrote No Scrubs for TLC. She wrote Bills, Bills, Bills for Beyonce, Destiny Child. So all of that, she's getting publishing because she wrote those songs. Those are her songs. And then Ed Sheeran took No Scrubs and went and did The Shape of You. She gets residuals for that. So it's important that you know the ins and outs of the business. So I'm glad that you talked about that, team, because it is a lot of independent artists who are not aware of that. You are funding everything out of your pocket. It is costly, but it's so worth it because don't you want to be able to have that full range and creative control to be able to have your business, your music out there without having a label tell you, like, hey, you need to do it this way, do it our way, or it's nothing at all. No, I want the full range and creative control, which is exactly why I created Style by Stevie. And Style by Stevie was created in what, 2016? That's when I created this platform because I said I'm a black woman and I already know how the business is. It's fickle. The odds are against you, and you are having to basically prove yourself. You're black, so you already got one strike against you. And for all of us as black artists in this business, we're having to fight twice times as hard with these big institutions out here that are against us, wanting us to get awards for our work. And maybe you'll see one or two black artists win in that specific category. I think you touched on that in one of your videos too, as well, Keith, about the struggles that black artists have to go through in this business. So these institutions like the Academy Awards, the Grammys, all of these institutions, we know that maybe one or two are in those categories, one or two of us, where the rest are. Mhm. So yes, that plays into it as well too. So I'm glad that you touched on publishing and owning your masters and owning your rights. And that is key and critical. So definitely, definitely. Now let's shift gears here. King, you got some new music out. You got a single out right now, Thunderstorm, which is everywhere on
Yes, yeah.
all platforms. And it's a very sexy song. So tell us a little bit about it, the writing process, creating it, and everything.
It's just a process, you know what I mean? Between two lovers, man, woman doing their thing, you know what I mean? Nothing fake about it. You know what
Yes,
I'm saying? There ain't too many love songs out right now. It's about love making. So, you know what I mean? Ain't too many songs about love making. It's all about bitches and hoes. I got them songs, but I wanted to put something out right now about love making. So I gave it to that. You know what I mean? I give it, you know what I mean? There's difference. So we talk about love making on this one.
exactly. And that's what sets you aside when Ira, because Ira spoke very highly about you. And then I was like, okay, let me go and check him out. I said, send me some artists to interview because I was like, I had a goal to meet. I met my goal of 900 shows. Your interview would be, I've lost count. I think we're at 913. We'll be at 1,000. And then I have
Congratulations.
the
Congratulations.
Thank you. And then the 20th season coming up in 2026. So I'm super excited. I'll be ripping and running. But he spoke very highly about you. And there's a lot of other artists that he's introduced you to, like the Dedication, Malik Smooth. It's so many. I said, okay, Philly, Pittsburgh, PA, I don't know what is in the water, but it's so many talented artists. Now, I know about Chicago. I've interviewed so many artists and actors from the Chicago area. Of course, you got Chance the Rapper, you got Jennifer Hudson, you got Sherry Shepherd, just to name a few. But we need to be shining a light on these up and coming artists in the Pittsburgh area. I'm in South Carolina, so we got Chadwick Boseman. We know the king, the godfather of soul, James Brown was down here. So, I mean, it was so much talent that is booming. So, what do you think about the next generation as a vet in the game? What do you think about the next generation of rap artists that are following in your footsteps? Because I give you your flowers. Uh, you have set the pathway for a new generation of so many rappers out here. Like it's outstanding for you to change the subject because it's always gangster rap, and it's just like rappers can love on a woman too. They can love on a woman. They can have that gentle side to them, that passionate side, and not only just that passionate side, but they can also talk about where they come from. Tupac was a genius at doing that, and that's why I made the comparison in part one of our conversation to you and Tupac. Tupac loved him some black women. He loved a black woman. And not only just loving a black woman, but he loved his community. He was very vocal. Even what we are experiencing right now under this current climate, it was like he was ahead of his time. And it's an interview that he did, and I'm pretty sure you've seen it on MTV. Was it Yo MTV Raps, where he predicted almost everything about greed, about wealth, all of these things about the system and how it is against us and not for us, especially if you are a black American in this country. So my question for you is it like deja vu when you're seeing everything that you've spoken about in your music for the past few years as a vet in the game, and even with Tupac, who was also ahead of his time? For you, is it like, wow, deja vu, all coming to fruition, everything that I'm seeing, even my environment, not telling my story as an artist? For you, has that been said? Deja vu.
You going out? You hear me? You went out.
Oh, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, you had went out. I have I think I heard what you were saying about the new generation, right?
Yes, yes.
And is it deja vu, right? That
Seeing
was
everything come to full
comes
circle. Your
yes.
music come full
Just
circle. Yes,
I'm old enough to see that nothing's new under the sun. And it's like, yeah, everything basically comes around just in a new form. And the powers that be want you to think it's so new, but ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new. It's just brought to you in a different way. That's all. It's modernized. It's
absolutely.
modernized. Like with the videos. Like we didn't have the videos, but it wasn't like we wasn't doing crazy stuff. It just wasn't tape. You know what I mean? A lot of elders act like they didn't do nothing, like it's new. I want to. I'm not into that. It's not new. I mean, that it's new. It's definitely not new. And they got the future in their hands. Their technology is way higher than ours. So they really, like I say, they can do what they want to do if they know it.
Absolutely. The options are endless. We now live in a day and age, whereas I love the 90s. I'm a 90s baby. Look at me giving my age away. I'm 32, so I'm a millennial. But back in the day, in my time in the 90s, we had cassette, we had 8 tracks. Y'all remember those? Vinyls. Now
Mm-hmm.
it's about how many streams you get. It's about how many uploads you get. It's about I remember the big billboard magazines that used to come out. You go in the record store and you would see them. Now things have changed. Now we are living in a day and age where it's AI and they can now create artists, AI artists, and that's why it's important that artists protect their likeness, protect your likeness, because it's very
Mm-hmm.
distinct. Every artist
They
has
have
a
you doing
very
anything
distinct
now.
voice.
Yeah. That's
My
like what I was
God,
saying. The world's in their hands. The world's in your hands, literally, with these phones now. So it's on you what you want, how creative you want to be. You can make something
absolutely,
and drop it tonight.
absolutely.
The fact that you can record a song right now and drop it tonight is crazy.
And they can make AI artists. It's one
Yeah,
that
you
I
could.
think I
I know
interviewed
people who
on.
don't rap and
Yeah,
got AI records. They could just type it in, make a song right now, type in the lyrics, let somebody else sing it.
absolutely. And it's so funny. I mean, the song they made up about Drake, Drake's BB, y'all seen it. I mean, they can do everything with technology. That's how powerful it is. And I love Aaliyah as well too. May she rest in grace. Um, Someone took, I think it was a Mariah Carey song and put Aaliyah's vocals on it. Aaliyah had a very distinct singing voice. As Mariah Carey, you're gonna know her voice instantly. So they can take artists who are currently out right now, like a Victoria Monet, like a who's another Lucky Day, if you want to go to the male side. and they can put their vocals on an Eric Benet song. So I mean, it's creative how they do it,
It's
but
endless.
it's a, yeah,
Yeah, it's endless.
absolutely, absolutely. So creativity, we talk a lot about creativity and what we want our legacy to be. As a vet in the game, what is something that you want to be remembered for as a vet in this game? Because I keep giving you your flowers. I'm so honored to be sitting down with you. Like, Organized Crime is one of my favorite hip hop groups. Like, you guys will be up there with Crucial Conflict. I said NWA, Run DMC. It's so many hip hop groups out there who have solidified themselves in the pavement. Salt and Pepper, if you want to go to the women's side, so I, make sure that we include every hip hop artist that is out here doing the thing that has carved out a path and legacy for themselves. So for you, what's something that you want to be remembered in your legacy in music?
That we were truthful with what we brought. That's all. Like the label say, bringing the truth to the youth. That's all. That you can't put a time limit on my music. That you know what I mean. It's so truthful and honest that you don't know what decade it was made in. So I like that. You know what I mean. I'll remember for originality more than anything. I'll take that.
Absolutely, and more. And I'm so glad you said that. It's okay to look up to other for influence. Like every artist that has come out that's out current. I'll give you an example, and I love her. Beyonce. Beyonce has been influenced by somebody. I mean, and you cannot say that she hasn't been influenced by Michael or Tina Turner, the queen of rock and roll. I mean, it's so many artists that have carved out the path so that these new artists that are coming out, like a Coco Jones, like a oh, who am I? Who is out currently right now? Doja Cat and so many others. They've been influenced by somebody, and you give them their flowers, and you can tell them in their music is love too. So that's why I made the comparison to you and Kendrick and Tupac because you all three men are socially aware to what's going on, and you're speaking about the times, you're reflecting on the times. And it's another hip hop group who was also socially conscious and aware as well too, and it's Dream Warriors. They are all the way in Canada. And I'm like, wait a minute, Canada's got this talent, talent over there. But I mean, hey, Deborah Cox, beautiful woman, beautiful, came all the way from Canada. So I mean, crossed over here in the United States of America and solidified herself as an R&B artist. Changed the game, working with Montel Jordan and so many others. And it's important that you leave your mark and legacy in this business because there's the next generation that's coming after you. I've been doing Style by Stevie since high school. Like I started this platform right after high school, right after I graduated. And now I'm 32 years old. The things that I would go back and tell my younger self, which brings me to my next question to you, team. What is something if you could go back in time and tell your younger self something, the young man that was in organized crime, if you could tell that young man something now, as you look back in your career, what would you tell
Don't stop rapping. That's what I tell him. I tell him keep doing what you're doing. You all right. Stay on the path. That's what I would say. Stay on the path that you see. Yeah, that's what I would say.
him? Absolutely. And we have, yes, isn't she beautiful, Deborah Cox? Yes. And I'm gonna say this about her: she doesn't get her flowers enough. There's so many artists out here that do not get their flowers enough, and we have to make sure that we are pouring into the artists who are out here doing the damn thing because the next generation is coming out and they're doing their thing. I mean, way before you had the Migos and so many other hip hop groups that are currently out right now. You had organized crime. You've had Run DMC. You've had so many. Uh, Even if you want to go to girl groups, In Vogue, TLC, SWV, What's another? You want? I'm gonna take it all the way back. The Pointer Sisters, the Emotions, the Jones Girls. So I mean, it was so many, and they have been influenced by somebody. The Supremes with Diana Ross. So I mean, we look at all of these K-pop groups
There's
out,
always a
and they're very
before.
reminiscent. Yeah. hmm A blueprint. You gotta follow the blueprint. Give the blueprint their flowers while they're here, and that is amazing. Like to see if you got Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight, Shaka Khan, and Stephanie Mills going on tour together, and I'm just like, these women have stood the test of time. Patti LaBelle is 81 years old. Did y'all know that? That's how old my grandma is, and she has not stopped yet. She has not stopped, and that's living proof and testament that she has followed her craft, that she has stood the test of time. And as an artist, you can relate. Like, wow. You sit there and you watch some of her. I was watching some of Patti LaBelle's older performances and listening to Mel's music, organized crime, and some of his music before I came on while I was getting my hair and makeup done. And I'm just like, wow. These are artists who have stood the time. And it's all about longevity. And that's my question that I wanted to ask Mel, because I know we had some technical issues, but we got it together now. And I can't keep him. We're going to get into our game before Mel raps. He's going to get a chance to host my show, and my heart is beating so fast because I have no clue what he's going to ask me in the Turn the Table segment. So Mel will get a chance to host the show. But longevity. What is the key to having longevity in this business?
Um, Knowing yourself and knowing that what you do is good enough. Period. You know what I mean? Not being able to let anybody make or break you. So if you know yourself, then you'll be confident enough, not believe, but know yourself. Know that what you do is going to stand up. So when you know what you're going to do is going to stand up, you're able to work to do it. You're able to work to accomplish it, which you know you do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. There you go. Welcome back, our soul. Feel me. The single is out. You got them vibes. It's also out. The video is out. They shot the video not too long ago. So shout out to Dedatification. Shout out to Malik Smooth. Shout out to my girl. And I fell in love with her when Ira introduced me to her because she is one of the first female rappers signed to the MDMA label. And that's my girl, Cougar Kai. Like, we have so much in common. And we had a Whitney and Mariah moment. We both wore the same jumpsuit. You guys have to check out the picture. We did a side by side, like who wore it best? Well, she did it. She took my picture, and it was just like she stole my outfit. So we wore the same outfit. Y'all have to go and check the picture out. It's out there somewhere. But absolutely. All right, Fashion Dolls, we're going to get into our games here with Mel before we wrap, and we're going to take some questions. You already know. Shout out. Thank you. Thank you, Ira. And we got to catch up. We got to catch up because you guys know my 20th season is coming and it will be here in 2026. So make sure you guys stay tuned. And before we get into our game, King K2, shout out to my brother K2. He wants to know what is your favorite song currently out right now?
My favorite song currently out. I don't listen to
Yeah.
mainstream music, so that's like a tricky question for me. So I don't listen to mainstream music, but what would I say? It would have to be was getting currently played in my car. I'll go into like streams of music. So probably the number one played song in my car right now is "We Shoot Back" by Daz Dillinger.
Ooh.
Oh, "We Shoot Back." It's like a new release by Daz Dillinger. So it's not like a popular song unless you probably look it up on YouTube or wherever you listen to your music. It's called "We Shoot Back" by Daz Dillinger. Like that's what I'm currently with what's popping up on my list that I'm playing a lot of right now.
Oh, you took it way back to Dash. Dash has worked with Snoop Dogg and
Yeah,
Eruption.
yeah.
You
See,
guys will know
it's
Dash.
called "We Shoot Back." It's a recent release. It's a new record, but it's independent. So yeah,
Oh, that's a good question, Kamani. What's your favorite hip hop album out?
my favorite hip hop album ever. Um,
Mm-hmm.
mm, it would probably be "Death Certificate," Ice Cube.
Oh yeah, that's a classic album. That's a classic album. And for me, it would have to be one of Tupac. I love Tupac. I love Tupac. I love Common. Who's another male hip hop artist that I like as well too? Ooh, it was so many.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it's funny
ooh.
because you said Tupac because it was going to be out of Machiavelli the Dawn, Cluminati, or Ice Cube. So I just went with Ice Cube because that was first. That was like first. But if I had another one to pick, it would have been Tupac, Machiavelli, Illuminati. That's like my second favorite.
My brother listens to Ice Cube. You love Ice Cube, K2. Now I gotta represent for the ladies. To the female side. What's a good? Mine will be Queen Latifah's "Nature of a Sister," and this is the birth of her hip hop career. This is the birth of her career. If not that one, then her very first debut album, where she has like she's got her arm out on. Y'all know the cover. I can't do the pose, but um, and the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. That album
Classic.
right there. She she did a song with Mary J. Blige on that album. I'm getting goosebumps about it because I'm not a big Mary J. fan. Hits the blonde hair. I ooh, that album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, is on repeat to me. That is the soundtrack to my life. If not that album, then one from Yo-Yo's debut album. That's one for me as well too. And I feel like a lot of people don't talk enough about Yo-Yo. And of course, if I want to get ratchet and sexy, then I go to Lil Kim's Hardcore. Y'all know that cover. I mean, that cover was every on every prison wall and every man's cell. Y'all know that cover. But Black Rain, yes, that one is deep. I didn't choose Black Rain because it's a magnificent album. But for me, she was going through a grieving period because she lost her brother in 1992. Her brother passed away in a motorcycle accident. And at the time, she was doing Living Single. So that album is deep and personal. And that's great artistry where you're pulling from a place of personal experience.
He passed on the
The misunderstanding.
motorcycle. She had the key on
Yes, on the neck. If you watch Living Single, you notice she would have the key on the necklace.
his motorcycle
So
key.
that's
The key to the bike he
uh,
passed on.
yes, my God. And to see her, she lost her mom, she lost her brother. That just shows resilience. She's still performing, and she's still out here acting and doing her thing. And that takes strength to come back after losing two people who were close to you. It was years later she lost her mom, but her brother, that when she did Living Single, she just recently did the Reliving Single podcast here on YouTube, and you guys can go and check it out. Where she said during Living Single, it was like a grieving period for her. So as an artist, you can only imagine the pain, the suffering behind the scenes of having to go in the studio and record these songs. And you're writing them. In that moment, you've already got it written, and now you're going in the studio to record it. You're reliving this painful moment. And yeah, that album is deep. So that's a good choice, brother. But I like it's nothing better. It's I mean that's a great album, but I like Nature of Persistence. Something about that album. The cover is so iconic with the green and the red and the black, and she used to wear a hat back in the day. So I mean, let's shift gears here. All right, Fashion Dolls, it is time for our game with King Mel Jay, and the first one is called the Rapid Five. Now, in this game, my guests have to tell me five things they can't live without. And I'll give you an example. They're guilty pleasures. I know for me, I love cookies and cream ice cream. and I binge watch a little bit of trash television. That means my Atlanta Housewives. And shout out to Candy Bird. And I love Nene Leakes as well too. Oh my God, I love them all. So those are just two examples. So now you have to tell me five things you can't live without that are your weaknesses or your guilty pleasures. You can be anything, and I know guys have told me football, their favorite drink, music, family, whatever it may be. What are your five things you can't live
Mm, like these are things. So things,
without?
I'll say, I'm not trying. It's a good question. Hold on, I'll be trying to think before I say before I respond. Five things I can't live without: home cooked meals, books, um, somewhere to create music, and my home. So that's four, five, a vehicle. So those are things, yeah. I don't want to live without those things. We're gonna have to make something happen with all five of those things.
Absolutely. There you go, fashion doll. All right. My heart is beating very, very fast because I have no clue what he's going to ask me. I don't know. I always get butterflies whenever my guests come on and they start asking me question. So it is time to turn those tables. This is no longer Style by Stevie. This is the King Mel Jay show. So I'm gonna pass it on down to King, and my guests get to ask me as many questions as they want on whatever they want to know for my new viewers out there, new subscribers here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and tap that bell so you'll be notified when I am live and when you upload a poster. All right? Okay, fashion dolls, here we go. So I'm gonna pass the microphone on down to King Mel J over here, and he's gonna ask me as many questions as he wants. And this is for my new subscribers out there. If you're just joining, welcome to the channel. Take it away now.
Okay, well, I'm not going to take over your show, so I'm only going to ask you three questions. The
Okay,
first question is, where were you born and raised?
South Carolina, little old Bamberg, South Carolina. I'm a South Carolina girl, and I love it. But it's a very small town. And when I remember when I did one of my interviews for KT Miles, and he said Bamberg. Where's Bamberg? Because people have heard of what's the Myrtle Beach. They've heard of Charleston because I have a brother in Charleston. They've heard of North Carolina, and I have family there as well too. So I mean, little old Bamberg, South Carolina, and the talent is booming down here. But I guess I'd be putting Bamberg on the map. So that's where I'm from,
Okay,
South Carolina.
okay. And so number two is, you basically answered my number two question, was your start in your business of what you're doing started in South Carolina, right? So you're particularly connected with your home base.
Yes, and And I tell people this all the time. Never forget where you came from. Never forget where you came from. Stay true to who you are and be original. Style by Stevie was formed in 2016. I didn't know what I was doing. I started off very young. Like I graduated right after high school. I took up cosmetology because I was originally going to major in fashion technology or fashion merchandising or mass communication to media. I wanted to go to Parsons or either FIT in New York, and they didn't have those programs down here. So I say, oh, what the hell? I've always had a question. Huh? Okay, I can't interview. Sorry about that, y'all. Yes, um, I was talking about my start in the business. I wanted to take up fashion, but we didn't have that program down here. So I had to take up cosmetology. And even my cosmetology instructor was like, well, why aren't you in fashion school? Why aren't you doing this? I said, I love to do hair. I love to change up my look. I love, and if you go back and I have over 1,300 different looks that I've done throughout my interviews. And I said, you know what? This is it. Style by Steve. Because you are different, you're unique, you're not like other talk show hosts or platform hosts. So that's a little bit of how Style by Stevie is formed.
Okay. And number three, have you ever been to one of the two big cities with your brand, either New York or LA?
I'm glad you asked. I have family in New York, and that was my dad at the door. My father's originally from New York, and I have a cousin there, I have a brother and a sister there. And I would love to go back. I remember going when I was like 8 years old. I would have been eight or so. I can't remember, but I know it was very young. And I still have the Polaroid pictures. You guys remember the little Polaroid cameras that you could just take the picture would come right out, and you have to shake the photo. I have those. I have to bring them on the show and show y'all one day when we went to New York. And we went to south of the border. I remember that. And we took pictures as well too. And sitting in front of the big library in New York. So I would love to go back, but this time for something different. Maybe Fashion Week. Who knows? New York Fashion Week is always going to dream
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's it. The three. Just being that you're from a small city, I just was thinking how big you wanted to take it. So if you're, yeah, that's it. That's about it. That's it. Good.
about. Hi, Deshaun. Welcome, welcome, welcome. He said, wow, right. Thank you. Thank you, Deshaun. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I had such a great time with you. I wish
Appreciate
we
you
could chat
having
all
me.
day with you. Yes,
Appreciate you
I wish
having
we
me.
could chat with Mel always, and you
Appreciate
are
you
always
having
welcome
me.
to come back to the dollhouse scene. It was such a pleasure. And shout out to Ira. Shout out to Ira for
Oh
connecting us.
man, Ira,
And
Ira, I'm slipping. We supposed to do a song. I got a spot for him on the record. I gotta get him in the studio already. I got a spot for him on the record right now, waiting. So yeah, appreciate you, Ira, always. You too, Miss Stevie. Appreciate you
absolutely.
having me here.
You are so welcome, King. It was such a pleasure and a blessing. I've been anticipating chatting with you all day today. I'm like, okay, I gotta get back. I gotta make sure that everything is right for this interview. I gotta make sure that I did my research and I did my homework. Yes.
Yes, you did.
So
I'm
make
proud of
sure.
that. Yes, you did. Good job.
So before we wrap, King, any gems or advice that you would give to the next generation of rappers or artists that are coming up in the game, what would you tell them?
Stay independent, and if you can see it, believe it. And when I say stay independent and go, like I say, if go to the places where it's at. Don't stay in your city. Go to where it's at. Experience it for yourself and see what it is. And don't, you know what I mean? Keep your soul intact.
Absolutely. And what I would close the show out with, Fashion Dogs, is be original. And Mel just said this in the mid part or close to the end part is either in part one or this section of our interview right here, which is originality. Be original and stay true to who you are. Live authentically in your life. And as an artist, shine, create. The time is now. Use
Yeah,
that pen. The pen and I love it's one thing that you always put on your videos, which is the pen is your story. And as an artist, I want you all to remember that the tongue is a powerful thing. You have the power. So use that power wisely. Use that power and also make sure that you are writing from personal experience. If it's something you're going through, it can be a breakup, it can be a relationship that didn't work, anything. Put it out there in your music and write about it. And it's therapeutic. It's
yes, it
like
is.
cathartic. You're getting it off your chest. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So I want y'all to remember that. Put it out there. If it's something you want to say to the people, it's a way of getting your message out there. And messages to speed to the public, to the people, to the audience, to us, the listeners. So make sure you're doing that. All right. Fashion Dolls, your girl is going on break, so you guys can catch up from the most previous interviews this week. We will be back December 1st. But you guys can check me out. I will be doing my interviewing appearance on my girl Facebook, The Substances podcast, November 28th, and that is the day right after Thanksgiving. November 28th. Make sure you guys have your calendars marked. I'll be going on Facebook for Substance. November 30th, a lot of press. Of course, season 20 is coming in the new year of 2026, so we'll be back with more amazing and fabulous guests. November 30th, I will be going on Devon Searcy's platform. So we're going to be getting into all things beauty. You'll find out my favorite fragrances I love to wear, makeup brands, all of that, and so much more. And speaking of makeup, I want to give a very special shout out to my makeup artist and beauty contributor here at Style by Stevie, Melanie Nalamar Bridges, for making sure that we are right for everything interview. So a very special thanks to you, Mel, and to my
You're
casting
welcome.
dolls. I love you all. Stay true to who you are. And I love you. And catch up on the previous interviews from this week. It's been a great conversation with all of my guests. So I love you. Take care. And now let everyone know where they can follow you and check out the sexy new single, Thunderstorm, which is out right now. Make sure you guys go and
Thunderstorm on
check it
any
out.
platforms you
Yeah.
listening to. Revolutionary music. Ishmael Muhammad, aka Mel Jay. You Google that anywhere, I should come up. So it's not hard to find me. I got enough out there in the cyber world.
Yes. Fashion Dolls. Y'all go and check it out. And also shout out to Ira Soul. You got them vibes. And feel me, make sure you guys go and check it out now on all streaming platforms. I love you and a very special shout out to my colleagues, love to God. Shout outs to my brother K2, Deshaun, Kimani, Diva, all of y'all who came through and shown me so much love and support. Thank you. And I will see y'all in December. But also be on the lookout for those upcoming press appearances, November 28th and November 30th. November 30th, that's on a Sunday at 7 p.m. here on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be notified when new interviews and uploads are posted. I love you and y'all take care and I'll talk to you later. Thank you
Peace.
so much.
Peace. We out.